Hi everyone, welcome to ZVNFT. I hope you're having a good weekend. I have a cap on. It's cap day today. I also have my vanilla coffee here, and Luca the piggy is curled up in a chair behind me and occasionally raises an eyebrow when his name is mentioned. I was spending this morning looking at some of my NFT stuff, and I had 3 tips to share with you on how to get through an NFT bear market as a collector. I hadn't looked at some of the collections I had bought in quite a while, and it's a good thing I have a stomach of steel because their value has halved or more than halved in some instances. Some of the keys that I've learned this morning are by the dip, right? So, there are conditions in this bear market for profitability. If you strategize, you just have to be watching all the time, see where things dip and pick up some of those assets there. And when the market recovers and ultimately takes a bullish turn, you can really capitalize on your decisions. The other is dollar cost averaging, DCAing. I put about $10 a day into Bitcoin and into Ethereum. So over the last few months, that's accrued pretty nicely, but I'm not hurt by the fluctuation in the market, right? It's just enough that I think I can stomach. And I think that that's a good way to approach this bear market is you just dollar cost average into what you believe in, you buy the dip, and before reinvesting, you just really look at market conditions that particular day or that particular moment. And the other thing that I learned today is that I was looking at how long bear markets typically last in the crypto space, and previous ones have lasted something like 1,275 days. That was between 2017 and 2018. And then after 2018, crypto prices really surged, right? So we want to be spending some time now preparing for the future and to see when there could be a catalyst moment that can set off a jump in prices. And this is where, if you can, it is really great to buy quality assets now because you can pick them up for, I want to say cheap, but cheaper because they're not cheap. I just looked at them. But it is an opportunity to get in at a moment where you typically would not have been able to. So look at what you believe those quality assets are and jump in if you can. I want to spend the rest of this episode just looking at some of the news headlines out there and give you a little bit of a snapshot to see what went on this week, right? So I've selected a few. This one has Koreans to have access to blockchain-powered digital IDs by 2024. Now that's just around the corner. That's not very long at all. And under this plan, this blockchain-powered ID would be fully decentralized. And what that means is the government itself will not be able to see how or when that ID is used, right? So this is a highlight that, South Korea is really embracing blockchain technology and very swiftly. And according to a report from Bloomberg, actually, you're going to see digital IDs embedded within apps and mobile devices in the future. And they're going to work in a similar way to physical resident registration cards. So you've got around 45 million citizens that are expected to adopt this technology within a couple of years. And those kinds of digital IDs could be applied in things like finance, healthcare, taxes, transportation, and businesses that haven't yet fully transitioned online. The government itself would adopt this decentralized identity system, right? So I think that is pretty cool because many nations in the world and the governments do not want to embrace technology like this. But to be honest, from what I remember, South Korea is one of the countries in the world that ranks pretty highly in applying new technologies to life, to business, to government, and that sort of a thing. So that's a pretty cool piece of news. It's not the first time, by the way, that they would have done this because there was, back in 2020, and the implementation of a blockchain-powered driver's license that operates via a Korean smartphone application. So you had over 1 million South Koreans then using that. So pretty cool. Another story I was looking at is crypto Twitter split as another NFT platform moves to opt-in royalties. So in other words, there's a massive debate going on Twitter in the crypto space because You've got Magic Eden, which is an NFT marketplace, and they have made some pretty significant moves. And what they've done essentially is to focus on royalty models, because when a creator uploads the NFT and then it sells to me, then it sells to you, then it sells to your friend, and then it sells to someone else, and then, you know, down the road, they keep getting royalties from every sale. So what's happening here is that there's going to be an optional royalties model, and the power is going to shift more toward the buyer, and the buyer can set the royalties that they want to contribute to an NFT project. So it means that some of the creators won't get the royalties over and over again when their artworks are sold and resold. So that's been a bit of a hullabaloo. With the World Cup coming up soon in Qatar, I was, keeping an eye on football / soccer, like I tend to do. Not really. But I thought this was quite cool because sport here is jumping into NFTs, and you had 5 winners of the Ballon d'Or award that actually not only received their trophy, but also received an NFT. And the NFT is called Pirate Fragments. And there are a number of people that participated in an auction as well of this particular NFT. What I like about this is that it highlights the idea of utility. And, I'm always trying to figure that one out. Like, why would I buy this? Great. And it gives you access essentially to the Ballon d'Or ceremony if you buy it. And that's the perk that you get. And it's also artistic and nice and all of it, but it gives you access, which is what the NFT community has been looking at and exploring, exclusive access. The fashion industry has been big into NFTs, you know that. I came across an interesting story about the founder of Pom Pom Creative, who was basically saying that they're working on this idea with one of the digital fashion designers that you re-engineer a dress from the digital space to the physical space, and then you mint the skin into a digital collection, right? So they're working on this as a proof of concept, and the idea is to reverse the process from physical, right? So an actual, hoodie or dress, and then you re-engineer it into digital, the exact thing. And you see how it would work, and you essentially reverse how supply chains of fashion have worked in the past. So that's one I thought was interesting to highlight. And of course, I love anything to do with little piggies and puppies. Luca's nickname is Piggy, so. And this one is about using wine, NFTs, and puppies for social good, right? So how could I not love this particular story? This is a bottle of rosé wine named after a dog called Rosie. And if I buy this bottle of wine, some of the money goes to benefit the Near and Far Animal Foundation that looks after animals that are vulnerable and supports animal rescue efforts, essentially. But I also get an NFT, right? So, of course, I had to go and check it out properly. And this is what you do. You help support animal rescue efforts with Rosie's Rosé. And every time you buy this, the proceeds go directly to the Near and Far Animal Foundation. And then there's this QR code on this bottle of wine. And when you scan the QR code, you receive an NFT. So I really like that idea. I love the idea of applying that to animals, and every sale of this bottle benefiting animal rescues and shelters, and you get a bottle of wine at it as well. So you do something good. So for good, Rosie Rosé. That's it for this episode of ZVNFT. If you liked this content, please hit like or subscribe to the channel, or comment if there's something specific that you'd like me to research or talk about. I am going to go and work out, clear my head a little bit, and then work on the Luca Press Club. And I will tell you more about how I do with that and my own NFT collections and ideas in the next episode, okay? So keep at it. Don't lose the faith, all right? This is the time to learn. This is the time to build, and we'll do it together. Take care.